hello, and great to have you with us. Now, this is Let's Talk on LoveworldPlus, and today we are talking sports development in Nigeria. Now, the just concluded 18th National Sports Festival, tagged ECO 2012, which held in Lagos, Nigeria, has no doubt given Nigerians a lot to cheer about, depending on how one looks at it, that is. Now, the sports fiesta was one that rekindled hope in Nigeria in terms of organization and competition. Although not without its hiccups, the majority would agree to the fact that Lagos really did try. Now, we want to look at some aspects of the event to determine if and how far sports development has progressed and what still needs to be done. So today's topic is the National Sports Festival and Nigeria's journey in sports development. And I am joined this morning by Victor Enyinaya, who is the sports editor, National Daily Newspaper. He is a social expert and a public analyst. You're welcome to Let's Talk.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Okay, so the Nigerian National Sports Festival had its maiden edition in 1973, with the view of tackling divisions, tribal divisions and all of that because of the then civil war and all of that. And of course, that gave rise to the sports festival and all the editions that came after that. Now, looking at the just concluded 18th edition of the sports festival, how would you rate it, in terms of organization, in terms of the games? What's your verdict on how the games went?
It's in summary, it was an excellent fiesta.
Okay.
Very, very excellent fiesta. Lagos upped the game. Lagos showed everything. Lagos, it was Lagos at its best. It was Lagos at its best. I think the whole thing will go to the governor, an excellent governor that does not believe in cutting corners and everything. If you were there, you will know that that's what happened in Lagos a few days ago was exactly the dream and set goals of the founding fathers of the National Sports Festival. Okay. Fashola and his men ensured that it was not winning by all costs. It was come and compete, spirit of friendship, and the game. And okay. It showed. It was an excellent organization. It was an excellent sporting event.
Okay.
Ever. The 18th National Sports Festival was my 13th in the series.
Okay.
Of that. I was in Rivers last year. We saw what happened. Fashola proved that sports, you win some, you lose some. If it's financial muscle, Lagos has it, but he allowed for open competition, which should be the bedrock. It should be the starting point again of this competition, because since winning at all costs crept in, the competition lost its colors.
Okay. All right, so that's a pass mark there for the 18th edition of the Sports Festival. Now, looking at the continental and the global stage, looking at what happened in this edition of the Sports Festival, how do you see Nigeria and, her entrance in future competitions of continental and then also global stages?
Yes, if what Patrick Keji, the DG of National Sports Commission, is anything to go by, he said that all the athletes discovered in this festival will be monitored for future international competitions. Again, looking at it from the angle that Nigeria, we always say it's always easier said than done. You look at it from the angle that from Cross River 2014, it will be an open competition. Okay. So from there, we take it from there, because our athletes, our foreign athletes, will come in here and compete. The National Sports Festival allows for junior and intermediate. Okay. With the opening of space, I think if we monitor these athletes very well, and our elite athletes coming in to compete, the competition will be at its peak. then the states that finance sports very well will take it from there,
Okay.
and the competition will be keen. And Brazil 2016 Olympic Games, we can take it from there if we can harness the sources of the national sport, 18th National Sports Festival. I think it's a good one. We will take it from here. We'll take it from here.
Okay, now you said that this has been your 13th year in the running in the series of the National Sports Festival. Now, by your personal observation, how would you rate the performance of our sportsmen and women, you know, in this just concluded edition of the Sports Festival as to what you have witnessed in the preceding editions of the Games?
Yes, this competition in Lagos gave me a very good insight of what I saw in Makurdi 1986.
Okay.
It was a free competition. States came in to compete. Another thing is that time and now, it was you come to participate, the job of participation. There was no much welfare packages for athletes and officials. But now, what we saw in the 18th National Sports Festival was the spirit to compete was there. The atmosphere was also favorable and relaxed. So many states were not sticking their neck like in cutting corners.
Okay.
We knew Delta prepared very well. Delta is one of the states that has the most enticing and well laid out program for athletes.
Okay.
So they knew, all states knew that there's no how they will see the back of Delta. The sports commissioner or the executive chairman of the sports commission, Binik Amaju, in Rivers State, said that they don't want to come and start racking shoulders with Rivers. That so many things went wrong in that competition. That in the next competition in Lagos, once there is an open atmosphere, that Delta will clinch it. And it happened. So what, to go back to your question, what the just concluded sports festival drew up again was that spirit. That spirit of the 80s, that spirit of the 70s, that spirit of late, early 90s, before winning at all costs, crept in. It was go there and compete, let's discover these raw talents and let us take it from there. Now that Fashola has set the tone, we should take it from there. I see a good future. I see a strong participation. I see every good thing coming back to our sporting life internationally if we can lynch on what we saw in ECO 2012 and harness it.
Okay.
It's good. It's a sign of very good thing to come.
Okay, well, congratulations to Team Delta. But Lagos also, they did put up a spirited performance, coming third with 65 gold, 47 silver, and 71 bronze medals. Now, the previous year, they took the 9th position. What do you think Team Lagos did in terms of maybe training, or what do you think really they did to have improved this well, you know, to come from a 9th position all the way to the 3rd position in this edition of the Games?
Yes, Lagos immediately after the Rivers Garden City Games started their preparations. I monitored some camps, and right from day one, the governor sounded it loud and clear that your raw ability, Lagos will not involve in cutting corners. Go out, the facilities are there, the packages are there, go out and do it. I think what propelled Lagos was the spirit of the game. They have a governor that has the word, how you can do it. The deputy governor, up till the opening ceremony of the festival, on November 27, I never knew that the young woman is so passionate about sports. I don't know that the young woman is so passionate about the youths. Let me not take it away from her as a mother, but she went extra mile. These are the people that propelled Lagos from 9th position to 3rd position. Clean win, clean win. There was no backrooming and all that. Lagos did it on their own. In short, it was a clean championship. It was a clean festival. Every state, including my state that did not do well, they all did it raw.
Okay. All right. Well, if you're still watching, we are looking at the National Sports Festival and Nigeria's journey in sports development. I'm still talking with Victor Enyinaya, who is the sports editor of the National Daily newspaper. He is a social expert as well as a public analyst. And we have been looking at some aspects from the organization of the 18th edition of the Sports Festival in Lagos, Nigeria. And from all indications, most people have given Lagos State a pass mark for the way the games went and the way the games were held and fairness of play and all of that. Now, another aspect of the games was the security. You know, there was security, it was quite orderly considering crowd control usually is an issue when you have games, when you have people trooping into a stadium, especially when it's free and all of that. Now, of course, the well-coordinated and professional approach of the security personnel was also a great factor in the way everything was conducted. What are your views on the conduct, the organization, the security with which the games were coordinated?
Yeah, in my review on Monday, I pick up security as one of the high points of the festival. It was at its best, except for some overzealous security men that beat up journalists and athletes. Immediately the report went to His Excellency. That lunatic was fished out and drove away from the competition. Then son, there was no security breach. There was no complaint from all and sundry. Security in the just concluded 18th National Sports Festival was watertight. All security agencies that were involved, they were able for once be alive to their responsibilities. And you saw what happened at the opening ceremony when the Vice President was there. It was so smooth. You never knew that a top personality was in the stadium. It was beautiful. You saw what happened on Monday when Mr. President, on Sunday when Mr. President came to declare the competition closed. It was like that. Once you obey your entrance to where you should go through, you will not have any problem. In terms of security went hand in hand with the whole organization of the whole thing. I have always said it, Fashola is an excellent man. It's not a politician. He's a technocrat. He's somebody that does not mix policy with politics. He doesn't mix decision with politics. Okay. He does it as a senior advocate of Nigeria. Some of us are not surprised on what he stick out his neck to do. He comes out very clean. He comes out very excellent. He comes out very, very well organized. So that was what we saw in the whole aspect of the organization of ECO 2012, and security was no exemption.
Okay. All right, I want us to go back to Team Delta, who won within this competition. They won with 116 gold medals, 99 silver, and 75 bronze medals. Now, I'd like us to, briefly analyze their strengths, because they're going to be the defending champion, and of course you have to study your competition. In what ways do you think they were able to come out on tops? Is it because of the trainings that they have received? Is it the duration of their preparations? From your personal observations, what would you say are the strengths of Team Delta that made them come out the way they did and made them shine in this edition of the Games?
Yes, as I did say at the beginning of this discussion, Delta has the most organized package.
Is it in terms of training?
In every aspect.
Okay.
Training, welfare, and sundry. I was privileged to be with the executive chairman of the Sports Commission, Pinnick Amaju. Pinnick told me that immediately after the Garden City Games, they came down and analyzed their strength. The competitions that they did not do well, they traced what led to that.
Okay. And
they were able to inject life into those competitions. Like he said, weightlifting, they got 3 gold medals during Garden City Games. But in Lagos, they got as many as 15. So likewise in other sports. And Delta State, as I said, has a sports commission. The essence of sports commission is to get athletes from the grassroots, discover them and harness them, you train them, you groom them, and you knock them together. The whole thing will balance. That is what Delta has. Their training is excellent. Do you know that they go as far as training abroad for this competition? They did. They have generous scholarship for the athletes. So they are the most organized. I wish the program Delta put on ground is at the national level. If what Delta put on ground for their sportsmen and women are at the national level, this is we are talking will not be. So Delta has no competitor for now, okay, because of what is on ground. And the governor did not hide it when he spoke to some journalists, that he told them to go and reclaim the leadership and see what he will do for them in Christmas. And they did, effortlessly. You saw the margin. So it was not, it wasn't by fluke. It wasn't by fluke. So they have the program layout program. They encourage the athletes. You see, when you sit back and reflect back that there's money for your family will not lack. You concentrate. That is what Delta has been able to establish in the Nigerian sports arena. And it will be for states, for so many states to catch up with them. It will take some good number of years and editions of National Sports Festival. You see what will happen in Cross River in 2014. Nobody will see the back of Delta, because these elite athletes that have been hammering, that have been advocating that these people should come in. They should open the space, that the space should be opened, so that this sports festival will give space for elite athletes, because it's for junior and intermediate. Then to bridge the gap, you have to bring these elite athletes to cover the senior aspect of the distance. And you see that the competition will be keener, because the intermediate will be looking up to beat a Blessing Okabari in 100 meters and sundry. So Delta is no fluke. Delta did it. Delta prepared for it. Delta.
So you're saying adequate preparation has a lot to do that if other states are ever going to see the back, as my guest put it, if they're going to see the back of Team Delta, they'll have to put in commensurate preparations for the games. It's not a fluke, it's not by wishful thinking, and it's certainly not by magic. Preparation, hard work, focus, commitment, and determination, as well as the spirit, like you said, that spirit of sportsmanship. Now, in ending or in closing, the Echo 2012 games may have come and gone, but it surely is going to leave an indelible mark in the annals of the festival. What is your counsel for futures hosting states like Cross River is going to host the next year's edition of the game? What is your counsel to every other coming state that's going to be hosting the games in terms of what they should do to improve on the games?
Lagos has set the tone. Cross River, I know, is a very colorful state in terms of tourism and culture. Okay. We will see a lot of that in Cross River. What I will advise the Cross River State government is to ensure that they will abide by, they will key in with what Lagos has set in. Winning at all costs shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. They should try to emulate what Lagos did so that the next host state after them will take it from there. It will allow for a real sports development. It will allow for the competition. It will allow for participation. It will allow for the spirit of the game. So Cross River will do well in terms of organization. Cross River will do well in terms of displaying their rich cultural heritage. They have been organizing Ogudu Mountain Race. Yes. It won't be so difficult for them to mount a very beautiful organization, and it will also take them some extra to catch up with what Lagos did in the opening and closing ceremonies. Okay. It was colorful. It was beautiful. Okay. It was.
Okay. Glowing commendations there for the 18th edition of the National Sports Festival, also tagged ECO 2012. We have been looking at the National Sports Festival and Nigeria's journey in sports development, and I did have the honor of talking with Victor Enyinaya, who is the sports editor, the National Daily newspaper. He's also a social expert as well as a public policy analyst. Thank you very much for coming to the program. Well, what more can we say? We are all expectant and all eyes are on Cross River now for the next edition of the Sports Festival, hoping and expecting that they're going to emulate all the good aspects of the just concluded edition in terms of organization and most importantly, free play, not winning at all costs, but letting the best man win, which what sports is really all about. Thank you very much for joining us on this edition of Let's Talk. We will do this again the same time tomorrow on this station. My name is Zoe Okafor.